So,
Christmas has come early. No, shut up. Christmas has come early.
It did?
It did. It did, because the last time you and I had a debate, the last time you and I were like, no, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That was about whether or not Daredevil was the same Daredevil. The MCU Daredevil was the same Daredevil from the show. And we kind of determined, essentially, that we were both right, because it wasn't, but now it is. So I was right, and then you kind of retroactively became right because Kevin Feige was like, what the hell? But then we're like, okay, well, we need something new to debate, right? We need what is the new queryment? What is the new wondering? And that was our disagreement on whether or not Kingpin is a super powered individual. Because I said, now that they are making him canon, the Netflix Kingpin is canon, I'm like, there's still some stuff to kind of explain here, because the Netflix Daredevil or the Netflix Kingpin is definitely not super powered in any way whatsoever. And I said that based on everything we saw in the Hawkeye series, Kingpin is 100% more than just a man. There's something going on there that was not going on in Daredevil. And you're like, no, man, he's just a big guy and stuff. And, and I was like, okay, I don't think that's right. I think he's got superpowers, and they're going to have to explain that. And we decided that, you know what? Okay, this will be the new thing that we just have to kind of wait and see. We're on different sides of the fence about this, and we'll have to wait and see what happens if and when we get an answer. And I did not expect for us to be able to put this to rest as soon as we're going to be able to put this to rest. Hello and welcome to the Movie Men Podcast.
We're the B team.
Yep. That's Carl.
That over there's Brady.
And we're here talking about Season 1, Episode 1 of Echo. Now, we're late.
Echo.
Yeah. Do you want to make a ripple? You don't know what that's from yet, but that's a movie you and I are going to end up watching together at some point. We're behind. That's fine. Whatever. It was Christmas. How dare they release this show so damn close to Christmas? We're still trying to work off all the cheese that we ate over the holidays. And so it's taken some time to get to, but it's still the most recent. There isn't new MCU stuff out yet. And so I feel like we're still within that window of this is the fresh MCU topic. So if you're like, whoa, what the hell? Why is this so late? Screw you.
Also, I think, at least for me, I have a hard time. I had a hard time even just wanting to watch this. I'm watching this because I'm contractually obligated. I don't care. This is this is the furthest character. She's not even a big character in the comics. She didn't really play that big of a, she didn't need to. She played a role in Hawkeye as an antagonist, but not to the extent she needs her own show. What are we doing here? What is this show?
So here's the thing. Before we jump into initial impressions, that was a question that was asked, right? Because you and I both said, who's asking for this? I don't think anyone's asking for this. And having watched it, I mean, that answer hasn't changed. I don't know who was asking for an Echo series. But what I did say, I was much more willing, eager, interested in seeing what this series had to offer than you did. And I did say that this first episode, or the series in general, because this is a show with a character who was set up relatively poorly in Hawkeye, this show has some heavy lifting to do because it needs to show us why we should care. It needs to show us why this show is being made, why this is a story worth telling. And it's going to have some heavy lifting to do. And I will tell you, I'm going to show my hand a little bit here. It's also just my initial impression. Having watched the first episode, I am so invested in this now.
Really?
And I get it. I'm like, hey, I didn't think this was a story that anyone was going to care about, and I've only seen one episode, but good God, that was great. And I'm stoked. I am stoked to watch the second episode. Carl, what are your initial impressions having now watched the first episode of a show that you had no interest in watching?
I'm still not interested. I was
really
when we were talking about. Well, I ended up watching this episode well before you did.
Yeah,
and I proposed to you that, hey, let's just do like a 1 episode overview of the whole series for a Movie Man episode. We'll just one and done all we need episode. Just get it over with, because yeah, I'm still not sold. This episode had one highlight for me, and it was over and gone before I knew it, and the rest was just kind of like, I'm looking at my watch going, when is this over?
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting, but also, I mean, disappointing, right? That it hasn't clicked for you the same way that it's clicked for me. All right, let's dive into the let's talk about it. So yeah. This episode starts off in a way that I did not like. I kind of like paused it. You know how when you like pause Disney Plus and the title comes up,
yeah,
and you're like, oh, that's the name of the episode. That's the show I'm watching. Yeah. I
did the same thing. Am I watching the wrong show? Did I accidentally click the one next to Echo?
Like, not that the intro didn't seem like it could be MCU, but this was not what I was expecting to see at the start of Echo.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, agreed. Oh, this is mystifying and obscured nudity, but definitely nudity. And I was like, oh, MCU, you guys weren't messing around when you said, and by the way, for the first time that we've gotten a viewer discretion advised at the beginning of an MCU property. That was a big thing. Did you notice that? Did that stand out to you?
No, it didn't. Oh, my question really is, how does mud fall off a person and clothes magically appear? It's you're getting, at that point, you're getting, see, here's the thing. I don't know if, because I'm not well versed in native lore, but I don't know if any of this, I don't know if this is all just BS made up for the comics and Marvel, or if this is like rooted in actual native lore. But I mean, that's the same as like asking the question, because what it's talking about is like the origin of a certain group of native people who had powers back in the day, or, you know, whatever. That's like asking, how does one guy build a boat and puts two of all of the animals in the world onto this boat? Right? Like it's this, you know, it's a religious origin kind of tale. And so, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. That didn't bother me. Well, I'm like, you have to suspend some. The clothes thing doesn't bother me. I just, putting that out there. It's a funny question, especially when it comes to the realization after what is it, 3.5 minutes in, that these are girls telling a story about their ancestry that they've heard from their grandparents.
Right. And it's interesting because we get some imagery. We get the idea that they were like these underground, naked, sparkly mud people.
Naked mole rats.
And then something happened. There was, a little bit of a tremor, and that kind of collapsed, and then they came up and they turned into, the more of like a human that we would know today. But there's no like narration during this part. Or is there? Is there narration during this part?
No, there isn't.
No, there's no narration.
It's not until they start, all the mud stuff falls off and they're walking away that one of them says, "Follow me," and then she starts walking, and then it cuts to the homemade tent out of sheets with the girls inside.
So there's not a lot of explanation about what it is that we're seeing there. But
no,
that's cool. Whatever. Then we get, the next little while, up until like the 15-minute mark, Maya is a kid. We get to see a bunch of kid Maya. This is like, I don't know, man. This episode just kept hitting me in all the right spots, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole car crash scene and the death of her mom, and it was like, okay, we're not holding back. We're pulling all the stops here, and we're setting this character up to show she's got trauma. She's got reasons to hurt.
I do have a nitpick about the car scene.
Okay.
And so part of this is this car. I understand this car scene. They have to make her an amputee. They have to show that at some point, right? Because she becomes, in the Echo or the Hawkeye show, we learned she was an amputee as a child. So, but we didn't find out how. So in the first 10 minutes of the show, we find out how. But it's from a shard of glass from the car.
A big shard of glass.
Right. My nitpick, and this pulled me out of it immediately. Car glass doesn't break like that. Car glass hasn't broken like that in like 80 years plus. We've had tempered glass for ages. Glass in cars shatters into almost harmless little beads of glass.
When did they start using tempered glass?
I might be wrong. 80 years might be a stretch, but it's been a long time. Like, since I was a kid, it's built
the glass. 50s.
Yeah. So, like, and
Since
this is
50s.
definitely beyond the 50s. So this pulled me out. Like, and it pulled me out because they could have just as easily had the dash of the vehicle crush her leg or something.
Yeah.
Right? But they chose.
That's interesting.
As soon as I seen that glass sticking out of her leg, I was like, what? That's not, what? No. So it was weird that was a choice they made. But, it bugged me a little bit. It's a nitpick, but I'm going to nitpick windshield.
Yeah. No, that's a fair nitpick. That didn't occur to me, but you're 100% right. And that seems odd. It's still okay, but if you can overlook that, it's a devastating scene.
It is a devastating scene, right? And like I said, they could have easily had her leg be crushed instead of a shard of glass going into it. But I agree. For some reason, they thought that would be silly and unreasonable for people to believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Then we get, we're like, well, we already did that with Doctor Strange's hand. So that's, we gotta play this up a little bit. We get a bunch of heartfelt stuff here between Maya's dad and her sitting in the hospital room, discovering that, like, mom's not going to be okay. Mom didn't make it. And then ultimately him kind of being like, the dad is not welcome with mom's family because, he's part of the tracksuit mafia.
Yeah.
And ultimately, this wasn't mechanical failure. Someone cut the brake line.
Yeah.
Right. It's his involvement in all of this that has landed her dead.
Yeah. And somebody that was probably driving that other vehicle to intentionally hit them. And yeah, there's a lot of intention in what happened here. He was supposed to be in the vehicle. Probably he wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So years later, Maya moves to New York with her dad because he's got work there, but obviously it's, criminal work. She gets good at martial arts fighting. We see the recap of Ronin,
we get,
right? Hawkeye.
This is pretty much a 15 to 18 minute recap of stuff we heard. There's a bit of new stuff sprinkled in there, but in a 20-minute episode,
I'd say it's most
recap.
Well, it's a 50-minute episode, but I would say
40. Yeah.
I would say it's mostly new stuff, but there is definitely some, okay, that's just the scene for it. Like, now you've interwoven shots that we've already seen. Then we see, Maya grieving at her father's grave, and she kind of has this like, you know what, screw the world, I'm going to just unleash my vengeance. I'm angry. I'm hurt and I'm angry. And I'm going to just take it out on poor choices and, whatever else. So we see possibly the coolest scene in this show, in this episode next, with Maya trying to steal a motorcycle. And you cannot tell me that her wrapping her hairband around the throttle of this motorcycle, sending it out through the window and onto the cop car was not badass.
It was cool.
It's like, dude, it's so just cool.
It like, and part of me just wonders if this is even her rebelling. Like, I feel like she's not rebelling here. My feeling here was that she's just trying to get somebody's attention.
Maybe.
No,
maybe.
Which she does. Right? She knows how to get this person's attention, and she does it.
Yeah. You're talking about Fisk, Kingpin.
Because that's who shows up.
So she gets arrested. She's in the process of being arrested, and Kingpin strolls up, walks past the cops that are telling him, hey, dude, like, you get out of here. And then the other cop's like, man, you know who that is? And the cop just walks past everyone, or the cop, Kingpin walks past everyone, puts his hands on the cop to pull his hands off of Maya, pushes the cop out of the way. And you can tell the cops are like, not thrilled, right? They're like, oh God, like they're not corrupt cops themselves. It's not like they're like, oh no, it's Kingpin, so it's fine. They don't like it. But they also understand their spot in the pecking order, right? That this is not a fight they want to.
They understand that Kingpin owns the cops.
Yeah, he owns the city essentially.
Because this is Snap. This is during the Snap. This is the 5 years. Is my guess.
Yeah, it would
because
still
Fisk
be.
isn't in jail anymore. The last we seen this Wilson Fisk, he was in jail.
Yeah. And so, which is interesting because then the question is like, when they filmed this, like how recent was the decision? It seems like a more of a recent, like back when they took the new Daredevil show back to the drawing board was probably when the decision to make it canon was. And so my guess is like when this was being filmed, when these scenes were filmed, that decision, like the idea was that this was still kind of a separate thing. Right? Like it's now retroactively, this is the Fisk from the Netflix show, but I don't know that it necessarily was when they were filming this. Anyways, Fisk says, hey, why don't you take that anger and that aggression that you have, right? Like, I understand your pain. My dad was killed too, blah, blah, blah. We all miss him. Why don't you, which we know obviously from Hawkeye that was bullshit and a lie because, you know, Fisk wanted Maya's dad dead.
He ordered that.
But why don't you take...
Well, not ordered, but...
Yeah. Why don't you take this aggression and turn it into, you know, something that's a little more useful? I've got work for you. Come work for me. And so Maya goes on her first job with a couple of other tracksuit goons. And you can tell she's obviously never killed someone.
These aren't tracksuit goons. They're Fisk's. They're in suits. Tracksuit guys don't wear suits, but not. He's sending Maya out to do his dirty work.
Aren't they wearing tracksuits?
No, they're wearing suits.
Right. She's kind of wearing a tracksuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, you can tell she's never taken a life. Right? They kind of brief her on like, look, we're going to be shooting some people. We're going to like just, you know, try to keep your cool and go along with this. And obviously they get through the door and everything goes belly up, right? There's more of a struggle than I think Kingpin's goons were sort of anticipating there would be. And Maya is just kind of stunned at first. Like, it's just sort of shell-shocked with everything that's going along. It's a lot of violence. And then Maya kind of gets put, like, a guy rushes her, throws her to the ground, and she gets put in a position where she has to defend herself. And she puts the guy in a headlock, and eventually, like, you know, she's kind of sitting there. She's got the upper hand. She's got this, she's just kind of holding him there while she processes and weighs the situation. And then makes a decision, and she snaps the guy's neck. And as soon as she snaps that guy's neck, it's like a switch flips. And she just goes into badass combat mode.
Yeah. And this is the one redeeming scene of, like, this from beginning to end of this scene is the one redeeming scene of this episode for me.
Just because the combat's so cool, like great choreography
it's the choreography and everything is very reminiscent of the Daredevil
of the Netflix
series.
Daredevil. Yeah.
And we'll see that in a bit. Probably why. I would hope the rest of the season is this good for its choreography. But we'll see. I don't know.
So Daredevil shows up.
Yeah.
And is a little pissed off. He's like, I've been staking these guys out all day, and you guys just showed up and screwed this, like, really messed this up for me. And him and Maya start fighting, and look, there's no winner here, but as is alluded to by Kingpin, Maya holds her own in a way that none of Kingpin's goons have ever been able to do.
She holds her own, but she still gets beat. I would say she still gets beat.
Yeah, I mean...
I agree with Kingpin's assertion that she held her own in a way that hardly anybody else in Kingpin's employ has been able to do.
Right.
But she doesn't... I would say Daredevil is the definitive winner. Like... She's on more of a defensive more often in the fight than he is.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So that happens. And, you know, oh, work for me and blah, blah, blah. And then we get the scene from Hawkeye where...
recap.
More recap where she's now face to face with Clint. And Clint kind of reveals that Kingpin... is not your friend. He's using you. He's taking advantage of you. And we get to see a little bit more of the scene from the end of Hawkeye, the scene where Maya's got a gun pointed at Fisk, but you can't really tell where, right? Kind of looks like it could be pointed at his chest or his shoulder or whatever, and then the camera pans up at the end of Hawkeye, and you hear a gunshot. Well, this episode, this scene makes it pretty clear that she's actually aiming the gun at his face.
Yeah.
And shoots. And we still don't see it. We don't see, it's not graphic. We don't see the bullet enter him because the camera's on Maya when she shoots.
He's off screen when the bullet shot. And then
he's off screen. Then it's 5 years later, right? So Maya has now, we've moved on. Now we're into new content. 28 minutes in, we're into new content.
5
months, okay.
Not years.
I'm okay.
Months.
Oh, did I say years? I meant months.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay with there being so much setup at the beginning of this because it's giving me the backstory for a character that part of the gripe was, why should we care? I'm like, I don't care about this character. I'm not invested in this character. But by the time this recap ends 28 minutes in, I'm like, okay, I kind of care now. I'm a little invested. I'm like, all right, yeah, like now we've gotten to see your side, your perspective, what you've gone through, what your motivations are. And now I'm a little more fascinated. And there's also been a little bit of a tease that you might be from a race of people who have a sort of supernatural, or not supernatural, but like a powerful background. Yeah, like there's some abilities there.
Right.
Okay, interesting. And so Maya's on the road. She's got a motorcycle that, let's just say stolen motorcycle, because why not? Apparently motorcycles are easier to steal than cars. And Maya goes back home. Goes home to the town that Bonnie was in, her cousin. Can
we pause here real quick again?
Yeah, we can do whatever you want, man.
5 months later, and she's got this big gash in her side.
Yeah, a bullet wound, we find out.
Right. So do we find out when that happened? Like, because my assertion was...
No.
Like, the way this sets up, it's like... It happened, this scene, like, the scene directly after her shooting Kingpin is her at a truck stop revealing that she's got this big gash, and it's 5 months later, and so that wound isn't 5 months old. A wound,
no.
So something's happened between now and then. But at the same time, I'm just like, why aren't we telling the story that happens how she got that? Like, because
I think, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think it's like, that didn't bother me because I just took that as, okay, so what you're telling us, you're setting it up that she has, in the 5 months since, she's been on, she's on her crusade here, and
she's on the run.
She's on the run. She's getting herself into trouble. She's getting herself hurt. She's obviously continuing to pick fights. So that wasn't like that didn't bother me because I thought that was just like smart exposition rather than like, whoa, what are you skipping over here? She's just hurt and on the run and going back home.
I don't know. I hear the smart exposition thing, but at the same time, I feel like you took all that time to retell a lot of the story that we saw from Hawkeye's point of view, from her point of view. Why are we skipping that? How is that not important?
Right. I have a question for you, and this is like, please believe that I'm not trying to discredit your review of this episode in the slightest, but I'm genuinely curious. Do you think, is it possible that your gripes, some of your negative reviews of of what's going on and your sort of your opinion of the series so far overall, is any of that, or could any of that be the product of you kind of already just going into the episode with sour grapes about the series? Like, did you go into it not wanting to like it?
Coming in, yeah, like I already don't care about the character in the series, so
right,
they're coming in against the odds,
right?
But I don't know. I don't think that using this gash as an example, I don't think that's smart exposition. I feel like it's lazy.
Okay.
Unless, especially if what they're going to do, like, are they going to do a flashback to what happened in those 5 months? Like, if that's the case, that, like, why? Why not just tell a nice, a cohesive linear story? Why we got to jump around?
My guess would be, like, I think I'd be surprised if they actually do end up showing it, because my guess is that it, like, ultimately it won't matter how she got that. It was just, you know, it was just a war wound out on the road.
Because, yeah, my other thought is, like, my initial thing, like, when I first watched it, is when she... I haven't watched Hawkeye. You've watched Hawkeye recently. Did she was injured at the end of Hawkeye.
I mean, I think everyone was.
When she walks out of the car and to shoot Fisk, she's limping.
Yeah.
She's holding her side.
Think that's from,
like, in that general area.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and...
Like, I'm watching it right now. Okay, Fisk is limping up to the car. He's all beat up. She's limping. I can't really... The car's lights are behind her, so I can't really tell if she's holding her side.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my assumption is that it's not the same injury. But I don't know. I mean, people in the MCU are hurt every other day.
Like, oh, that's her injury from... Oh, she's definitely holding her side.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe it is. I mean, I didn't...
But that's 5 months. Like, sepsis hasn't set in. Look at that wound. It's ugly.
I mean, it gets pretty infected. It gets...
But 5 months is a long time to have an open wound like that.
Oh, it's a very long time. Oh, and maybe there'll be a payoff for that.
I don't know. I think it's lazy. Anyway.
Okay. That's fine. All right. So so she gets back home. She meets up with... Now, this is where I got a little bit confused. Who is the guy... Because I think the only kids that we were introduced to in the beginning and sort of the setup was her and Bonnie, correct?
Yeah, we don't know who Biscuit is. Everybody we don't know who Biscuit except
is.
For Bonnie is a new character, pretty much. Except for Bonnie and her grandparents.
But I like the characters. Like, I was like, oh, this Biscuit guy's fun. Like, I don't know. I enjoyed him. And then they kind of talk. Like, she's like, hey, just don't tell Grandma I'm back, please. And then she ends up at a roller skating rink, which, I mean, you and I are both, by virtue of relationship, roller skating people, kind of.
Kind of. There's a roller skating rink not far from where we live.
Yeah, my mom basically runs it.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like the she's the big cheese over there.
Friday night rink.
Yeah. Which I'm convinced only happened because I invited her out to skating there one night. So you're welcome.
You need to convince her to put big flashy lights up like this one though.
Oh, dude, there's so much. There's so many things that I'm like, oh, like, why is this way? And it sounds like they're just like, there's a board that they have to answer to, and they have like zero funding, and it's like this whole, it's just like a job that I'm like, why are you going through that? Why are you putting up with this stuff? Like,
it's not. Doesn't sound.
All right. So she ends up at the roller skating rink with some kind of sleazy guy that doesn't seem to get the idea or get the hint that she's deaf and can't hear what you're saying, jackass. And so he just keeps kind of talking to her and flirting in sort of a gross, sleazy manner, as you do. It's a roller skating rink, right? What else are you going to do? You got to be a little gross, I think. Is I don't know. It's been a while since I've gone roller skating. Maybe that's not how it works. And so she's there to meet up with some other guy that I don't know, a family or someone she grew up with, a friend. Yeah. But he's cool, and I like his character. And then we get the fun scene where Maya is there's an undertaker who is patching Maya back together. And yeah, it is at this point pretty infected. Like, yeah, she's in rough shape here. And unfortunately, because of the patch job that she's done on herself with the dental floss and whatever else, it's not going to be a pain-free fix. This woman kind of has to cut into her and open that thing back up, and it sounds like the bullet's still in there, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I think the bullet's probably still in there.
It looked like it grazed to me, but yeah, it's just funny that it is. This is kind of a funny scene in that he brings in a mortician to fix.
Well, because that's all he's got, right? And it does seem like this guy is also kind of shady.
I think it's pretty clear that he's kind of on some sort of gang payroll. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he talks about, like, this mortician, this is the person, if you need a body fixed or you need a body gone, this is who you call.
Yeah.
Without questions, this is who you call. And so, yeah, so that's interesting. And then he obviously, like, in the next scene, when they climb up to the top of the water tower and are spying on Bonnie, as you do. Bonnie's now a paramedic. Good for her. And she makes her intentions clear that A, she's after Fisk and Fisk's properties, right? She wants to take down Fisk's organization. This guy's well aware of what that means and what that implies, right? He's not like, well, who is this Fisk guy, and what's, what kind of trouble have you gotten yourself into? This guy knows that's something you don't mess with, right? That will bring a war to this town, and so he's not going to help her. But what's interesting is we find out Maya's motivation. This is no longer, Maya's not just, oh, he hurt me and he ordered the hit on my dad, or he's the reason my dad's dead, and so I want to strike back and whatever. She wants to take his place, right? She says, like, he's had his run, he's had his time. Now it's time for a queen.
Right.
Instead of a kingpin. She wants to be the queen pin. And that's like, okay, you are not just looking to take Fisk down and then settle down and get out of this and disappear. You're grabbing this crime life by the horns, full on. You want to run the damn thing. So I thought that was interesting and not a motivation, not a direction that I expected this to go. I assume there's a reason why you don't like that, though.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Okay, I'm just busting your chops now.
she's got to have she's got to have some kind of motivation or something to go after. So whether she rips it apart or takes the throne, I mean, she's got to do something, or else why the hell are we here? Why am I here anyway?
He says, I'm not going to have any part in this. And he says, this conversation never happened. I never saw you. Like, I'm not a part of this. Leave me out of it. Nice to see you, Maya. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And then in the final shot, everything is put to rest. The debate is over. The question is still, okay, how are they going to make sense of this? The man was shot point blank in the eye.
It doesn't matter. He's still human.
Now, how? Explain to me how this guy was shot point blank in the eye. Point blank.
How much of the Daredevil series did you watch?
Okay, but but what
it's canon. I get that. How much did you watch?
I get that. Listen, I'm not arguing that it's not canon. What I'm arguing with is he didn't have he would not have taken the Netflix Daredevil's Kingpin would not have taken a bullet point blank in the head and lived to tell the tale. That is...
You've never... So, and how much... I need context. How much of the Daredevil series have you seen?
I'm going to say about half.
Half. So, like half of the first season, up to half of the second season?
No, half of the full series.
Okay. So, then you would be well aware that the Hand play a big role in that series.
Yes.
And that Fisk has got strong relations with the Hand, who
you think that's what this
have
is?
The ability to heal not just mortal wounds, but bring people back from the dead.
So you think that's what this is?
Yeah. This is Fisk.
It still doesn't explain.
Using his superpower, which is more money than God, more money than Tony Stark, to influence people and organizations to do his bidding.
How does he rip a car door off with one hand?
Because he's Wilson Fisk. Dude. Okay, I'm going to send you a link to something where this YouTuber goes into lengths about Wilson Fisk and his powers and abilities in the comics and in animation and stuff. And in every portrayal of Wilson Fisk, he is just a human being at peak human strength. Like the peakest of peak, to the point where his strength rivals Captain America's, who's a super soldier, but he's just human. Like the dude looks heavy and fat, but it's like the comics say he's got like 2% body fat. It's all muscle. He's so strong, he can tank hits from superpowered beings just because he's strong.
I'm sorry, but Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin has more than 2% body fat. Like he just does. He just does. That may be Vincent D'Onofrio, but we're talking about Wilson Fisk, not Vincent D'Onofrio. Wilson Fisk. I don't know. We'll see.
Vincent D'Onofrio's portraying Wilson Fisk. Just because Wilson D'Onofrio looks like he's got more than 2% doesn't mean his character does.
All right. Well, that's the episode. It gives us a little bit of a... I did watch this season. Get excited. Please watch our show. But, whatever. Those are things that we're all going to cover down the road. All right, Carl. The first episode of Echo. A win or a fail for you?
I'm not sold. This is not a win.
All right. Jeez. This was a win for me. I thought not only was it interesting and exciting with great combat and some emotional stakes that have been set up and possibly, I would argue, the most cinematic looking show. Like, just amazing that we're getting these shows that are shot like movies, that don't have that TV look to them. I'm excited. I thought this episode was great. I'm so excited to see where it goes. That the whole like tease of what's to come, it looks like we're going to get into some more of that like really cool native heritage, where she's from, what her people actually are. And I'm stoked. I'm so excited for episode 2. So I'm sorry you didn't like it. I hope simply for, I mean, because it's never like, oh, I hope you don't like this. I hope you have a miserable time watching this. I hope it turns around for you. I do. I hope I hope you come out the other end. You're like, you know what? I wasn't sold on episode 1, but good golly, what a great show.
Yeah.
That's what I hope for you.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to I haven't watched any kind of spoiler stuff, but I have kind of watched a few things where they talk about her power set and stuff in this, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm not hopeful, but I hope.
Go into episode 2 with an open mind.
Yeah,
because I don't think you went into the first episode with an open mind. So just that is your assignment. Go into episode 2 with as much of an open mind as you can. All right?
That's my homework, is it?
Yeah, just be open-minded. Thank you for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all listed below. We have a Patreon page where as little as $1 a month, you can support the show, get a bunch of fun perks back in return, and we have merchandise.
But we don't have dog bandanas.
We don't. No, we're sold out. This is a hot item, man. Hot item. Everyone needs a Movie Man dog bandana.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's a hot to trot item. Excuse me. And until next week, when Carl displays his sour grapes again for the world to see. Are they green grapes or are they red?
I don't know. Red, I guess. I don't.
Really? Oh, weird. Do you prefer red grapes?
I don't know. I'll eat whatever grapes are put in front of me. I don't have a preference.
Carl will eat just about anything that's put in front of him. He's like, oh, free food.
Nom, 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 nom.